Rage, Conquest,
Energy, Destruction, Regeneration, Judgment, Refinement, Greed.
My kids, my tier 4. Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through a video. A lot of people have asked for it, and it's my first attempt go on every single tier 4 character and put a CTP on them as a first choice and as a second. So I'm gonna go through all tier 4s, 50 something, and put the first option and the second option. I'm gonna explain my opinion and why I believe on that. And generally, the knowledge it hidden behind my options and why I'm picking this. Something I said in the previous live stream also, I want you to not consider me as a master of the game or someone who should not, you should not look for the info I'm sharing with you. It's information I'm sharing with my personal opinion and also my knowledge on the game, so you should double cross before you do anything in the game. For my tier 4 list, for any suggestion I'm doing for CTPs, you know, there's so many information into Google, so yeah, do not bother and go with closed eyes. I'm not a master, I just took black belt on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I don't have a black belt on marvelfuturefight, I'm just sharing my opinion here. So, Nuke32, sorry, I can't right now. So let's go into the CTPs and let's share with you some general truths and some facts that you should know before we go through and equip any CTP on your characters. But before we go into all this conversation, guys, I want you to make sure that you have smashed the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know down below in the comments what's the next CTP you're going to equip, and what if you're waiting for another raid to get a mighty raid or something like that, juicy info about your account build and what your characters you're working on, what CTP you're looking for, etc, etc. So let's start from the beginning. And in this tier list, I'm not gonna say anything about Brilliant CTP of Pythians, even if there is some use on it. I don't feel like it's the best for any character. Transcendent also, and Veteran. Veteran, it's only a few in the game, so yeah, I'm not gonna talk about these 3 CTPs. Also, another information is that all the CTPs I'm talking about need to be mighty or brilliant, except only 4 CTPs. And these 4 CTPs are CTP of Insight, CTP of Judgment, CTP of Rage, and CTP of Energy. These 4 CTPs. The rest of the CTPs, Authority, Destruction, Refinement, Regeneration, and Greed, absolute need, and Conquest also absolute need to be crafted, or else they're not good at all. Most of the times, actually. So, if my plan generally in the game, it's really easy to figure out. You know that ABL and ABX need you to have the maximum score to get maximum rewards. So in my mind, you need to take care of your rages and put them on the right characters. It will be really easy to go through my previous tier 4 list that I shared on my tier 4 tier list and go drop some CTPs on specific game modes and tell you that's the best, But here I'm gonna try to do a better work and spread all the characters through all the CTPs that exist right now in the game. In the description of this video and also in the description of the channel, there is a link for an open tier list on the tier maker that you can go there and tweak the icons, make your own tier list and share it in my Discord. It's down below in the description also, and there is a special channel there for people sharing their tier list that they have worked through my own tier makers. So as an example, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. This is the tier list I have on the description. This is the best characters for every single game mode. And you need to consider that for ABX and ABL, most of the times, the best CTP is CTP of Rage. So we could go through here and say easily CTP of Rage is the best for these characters because the best for ABL and ABX is CTP of Rage, you know. And also you could go and say Mighty or Brilliant Conquest is the best for the PvP. For World Boss Legend, the best CTPs are Judgment for all elemental characters and Energy and Destruction, Mighty also for the rest of the characters that are working with proc, but they are not also elemental type characters. The rest of the CTPs, you know, Insight and Greed are really good also. And for the PvP, you know, you can go and put all this because these 4 CTPs has the super guard break immunity as a passive ability on the proccing thing that they have, you know. It's the class for Conquest, it's the ambush for Greed, it's the steal for the CTP of Authority, and it's the vitality buff for the refinement. But yeah, this is too easy. I don't want to do something like that. So instead, I'm gonna go through another list that it's centric on the CTPs. So I'm gonna put the best characters in my opinion to use with the CTP of Rage. I'm gonna drop an explanation on that, and I'm gonna give you an alternative for each character. So it's 50 or more from them, so let's start from somewhere. So the list of the CTPs, it's gonna look like that. We have first CTP of Rage, Energy, Conquest, etc, etc. I'm not mentioning here which ones should be the crafted, but as I told you, all should be crafted except Energy, Rage, Insight, and Judgment, because the extra stats you're getting from it counts, but it's not really important. So let's go for the very best character in the game. Anyone should go and equip right now a Rage, and it's the easiest of all. It's Luna Snow. Luna Snow, I always suggest people to go for a Rage on her because she is used on multiple days of ABL and ABX, and the CTP of Rage gives her huge value for it. The secondary CTP I would use for her would be something like a CTP of Judgment, but you're gonna lose a lot with it, so yeah, CTP of Rage, it's a must-have for her. The very next character for this list is Magneto, and Magneto, of course, you have to consider that you need to have all the uniforms you are seeing on the icons, or else, yes, the characters are not performing. Magneto specifically, he is not good with any other CTP, so yeah, do not even think about equip something else. He's really good for ABL and ABX also, and used multiple times as Luna is used, by the way. Less actually, but similar times. The next character everyone should use with a CTP of Rage because he's used multiple times for ABX and ABL is Dr. Octopus. He's being used for the Human Day of Combat Human Day of ABL, the Villain Days of ABL and ABX Combat Villain Days. So yeah, he's really hard to play. The second CTP that you would use for him is a Mighty Destruction. Would work really nice for World Boss Legend, but it's really hard to play with. So yeah, my fourth suggestion is gonna be the one that you're not expecting, and it's Hulk. I'm putting Hulk next to Dr. Octopus. You need to consider that you can't go and equip on both of them, you know, a Rage, but Hulk with a Rage is really good for all these days. Dr. Octopus is good too. Dr. Octopus is kind of better, but you need to play perfect. He's really hard, and me myself having a really blast of a time playing with Hulk. Hulk is a piece of cake to play with, and yesterday I did an ABL and ABX marathon live stream, so you can go there and see how easy it is to go through 12 million with him. Another alternative would be Regeneration, Mighty Regeneration, and you can use him also in PvE and PvP with it. You need to consider that I'm not, I haven't done the list from before. I'm just having the information. I'm trying to share the information with you and build the list here step by step. The very next character on this list is Loki. Loki is mad annoying to play, but the moment you realize how to play with him, he's doing miracles, and he is the very next character on this list because he's used 2 times for ABL, and this is huge. Only these characters I dropped you here are used more than 1 time for ABL. Magneto actually is not used more than one, but Magneto used like 3 days of ABX, the no restrictions that Luna is used on ABL, and also for male Blast Day, and also for Blast Villain Day. But yeah, this is the dudes. Loki also used with Mighty Destruction with his old uniform, but yeah, I'm not suggesting you to go through anything else than Rage for him. The very next character in this list is no other than Jean Grey. Jean Grey used to be really strong for PvP too, but these days she is the best for PvE and ABX and ABL. She's really strong, and she used to be strong in the past, but people was considering the PvP values she had, but after Sentry and Silver Server she's falling behind. So the very next CTP I would use for her is Judgment for World Boss Legend. And another girl here that it's really strong for it with it too is Wanda. Wanda kind of replaced Jean and replaced Captain Marvel. She's really strong. She also replaced Ghost Rider for his ABX days. But yeah, I mean, she's really strong. I would go, you know, even front or back Jean Grey or Wanda. Both have multiple days that you can use them for ABX and ABL. For ABX, Wanda has other days than Jean because Jean considered as villain female, Wanda considered as universal hero, so it's different the tags, but yes, pretty much for Wanda, the second CTP I would use is a Judgment. I'm gonna make a video comparing these CTPs for my Wanda sooner or later. Stay tuned for that, and let's see who is the next. The next character to use with a Rage in my mind is Gladiator. Gladiator is used 2 days, 1 ABL and 1 ABX, and he is the absolute meta on both of them. No other CTP for PvE, but for PvP I would go for a Mighty Regeneration. He's really strong with it, and yes, mostly AC, but yeah, it is what it is. And now we are in the first character that used only once for ABL and ABX, and that's Rogue. Rogue is used only for the female mutant type day, but still she is actually the only character that can actually gives you 12 million score for the ABX for the ABL day that she's used. Other character that you can use there is Storm, but yeah, the best for her is Rage, because you're getting extra rewards, and after that it's Judgment because she's really strong for World Boss Legend and also for ABL. The very next character that I would give a Rage is Cable. Cable, you could argue that you can swap him with Rogue, but yeah, both have only 1 day, 1 ABL day. Storm do both work together, but still he can do 12, Storm can struggle to do, Rogue can do 12, so yeah, he is easier to do 12 with Rage, so I would put him in front of Rogue actually. And the very next CTP you could use for him, it's a Mighty Destruction, easy peasy for all World Boss Legend. The last character I would include, actually not the last, I have one more, it's Mystique. Mystique is used only for 1 ABX day, and that's the reason I'm putting her in the bottom of the list. The very next CTP you could use for her, it's Insight, Mighty or not. Rage and Insight are the 2 CTPs for her. And another addition you could go here, because I already put him, I put, you know, Hulk for Dr. Octopus, so you don't actually need Rage for Dr. Octopus and Hulk. And there is another addition I could put here, and that's Farmer Thanos, guys. I forget about him, but he's doing what Loki do, and in the same time way easier. His score is kind of worse than Loki, but Farmer Thanos is really good for multiple content with the Raids. After that, a Mighty Destruction could make him hybrid for PvP and PvE with this uniform, and it's really good. So guys, if you have a CTP of Rage, in my mind you should go first for this 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, minus 2, 11. So the moment you have 11 CTP of Rage equipped on these characters, you have to choose between him and him, or him and him, of course. You can go through all the content of ABL and ABX with the raids. The moment you have 11, after you go to do them mighty and brilliant. Before that, it's not worthy in my mind. So let's go into the very next in my mind in this list, still for PvE, and that's CTP of Judgment. I want to go CTP of Judgment. I have my reasons. CTP of Judgment is really good also for World Boss Legend, but in the same time for ABX and ABL. And for ABX and ABL, the very first character I would put and give a CTP of Judgment is Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider used to be the absolute meta for multiple days on ABL and ABX, but after Loki came into the game, he dethroned him from Universal Male Day of ABL, but now he's dethroned from Wanda for ABX. So the best CTP to use him for World Boss Legend and as a striker is CTP of Judgment. So there's no doubt for it. Go free equip judgments on your Ghost Riders. The very next CTP to use with him, it's raids if you don't have some of your meta characters, but also he's working really nice with a Mighty Greed if you want to go into PvP side of the things. For similar reasons, Thor it's here as the second character to use with a judgment. He's falling behind from ABL and ABX meta. A lot of characters replaced him. So in my mind, he doesn't really worth to go for raids for him, and Judgment gives him the opportunity to strike really strong and also be good for World Boss Legend and some rifts if you wanna farm with him. Raids is an alternative for him, and that's all. The very next character I would use with a judgment is Miles Morales. Miles Morales is an absolute monster for every single PvE game mode, and with it he shines really a lot. I would not suggest you to go for any other CTP. Judgment is the one that makes him perfect. You can try to use like something like Energy, but it's kind of painful to go and try to proc with him. And in my mind, for Judgment, there is other characters that are really important, like it is Odin. Odin, it's an absolute monster with it. I'm suggesting to everyone to go for it. And of course, you can play with him on also ABL and ABX. He's the second best after Gladiator. But the moment you are already have a rage on your Gladiator, you wanna go Judgment with Odin, because Odin is really busted for all World Boss Legend. So let's kind of fast forward on it, and I'm gonna tell you about Storm. I already told you she is after Cable and Rogue. So if you don't have Cable or Rogue, go for her with her raids and use her for ABL and ABX. After that, you can go for World Boss Legend with her with a Judgment. But you need to consider the absolute best CTP for her, even if she is elemental type character for World Boss Legend, it's not a Judgment, it's an Energy or a Destruction. This character is kind of confused, you know. The easiest way to go it's Judgment or raids, because you don't need to worry about proccing proper, but the moment you proc proper with an Energy or Destruction, she's doing miracles for World Boss Legend. So I need to clear about that. Namor and Professor X are kind of outdated, so the only use I could find for them are World Boss Legend, so it's no-brainer, go for Judgment on both of them. You need to consider that these characters are used here with a Judgment because they have elemental type damage. He has mind damage, cold damage, lighting damage. Thor, I'm just dropping him with his last uniform here. He's good with Judgment and only with it. These days with the old uniform, Raids was really cool for it, but yeah, they drop another uniform for him just to replace the old one, and it's kind of sad for devs and Thor, but yes, it is what it is. I just end with Judgment. I'm gonna go through Insight next. And let's start with Cyclops. Cyclops is the only tier 4 in the game having no uniform, having no damage, so the only use you could go for him it's an Insight and use him for ABX, ABL or World Boss Legend. 100% no other CTP fits him. The very next character I'm going to use on that list is Better ABL, and it's really sad for Better ABL, but believe me, it's really fits him perfectly. to use him as a support for the day of Gladiator. You can use him for other alien days also as a support, because now he became a support with his uniform. Of course, he's really good damage dealer. If you're missing Gladiator, if you're missing Odin, you can use him with the raids and go into ABL and ABX. But the main use of him, if you have everything in the game, you know, if you're a top whale, you're going into an Insight at the end of the day. And after that, as I told you, Rage or Judgment could fit. He can be used with multiple CTPs, but Insight it's the best for him right now. The very next character I would put here, it's Angel. Angel came into the game as only support for Otherworld Battle, and it's kind of disgusting, but it is what it is. Insight, it's the thing that fits him the best, and there is others you should use, but yeah, what's the point to do that? The last character I would use with an Insight first is Ebonimo. He is used for World Boss Legend and for PvP with it, and yeah, it's kind of sad build a tier 4 character just to have him as a support, but yeah, these 3-4 characters, to be honest, have no place into the meta right now. For Ebonimo, you would go for raids and use him for ABL and ABX if you're missing Magneto, but other than that, I don't feel like he has any other place on any other game mode. The very next CTP we're gonna go through is CTP of Destruction, and I'm gonna drop there the characters that actually have it as best to use for the main reason they have revive. If you have Sunbird in the team and the moment they revive, you can take advantage of the destruction with the guard break immunity and the awaken skill they're dropping. Both Shadow Cell and Blue Dragon can do miracles in PvP with it, and they are also really good with it for World Boss Legend. Judgment is also an alternative if you want to use them only for PvE. They're doing really fine with them, and that's the two suggestion for both the defenders. No, Warriors of the Sky. Yeah, these Warriors of the Sky, dude. You have to consider that this CTP considered sometimes as a hybrid CTP, but it's mostly PvE and hardcore PvE, and a lot of characters can do miracles for World Boss Legend with it. You have to have the proc, the strike proc that gives you extra damage against World Boss Legend, but I'm trying to put characters here first that have double value for PvE and PvP for it, and Gwen is one of these characters. If you miss Luna Snow last uniform, Gwen can provide a lot with it, or with a raids for you know, with raids she's going to be better for ABL and ABX, but with a mighty destruction she's also good for ABX and also good for World Boss Legend and also good for PvP. So yeah, she is a multi-tool with it. I'm gonna put two last characters here. One is Black Bolt. Black Bolt used to be the best for ABL and ABX with the raids, but these days people is using him for his tags in World Boss Legend. For World Boss Legend with Mighty Destruction, he's doing miracles, and there is people progressing really high with him for World Boss Legend. Same thing for Star-Lord. He used to be the best for ABL, but these days, after Gladiator actually, he's falling behind, so people is using him with a Mighty Destruction with great success for any PvE content like World Boss Legend. So let's go now and start with CTP of Energy. CTP of Energy, we have characters like Sharon Rogers, always equipped with the CTP of Energy. Sharon Rogers lately is really strong with a CTP of Destruction, Mighty CTP of Destruction, or an Energy or a Mighty Energy. She is smashing World Boss Legend. She is one of her kind, and the damage she can output is so unique that you can't even imagine if you do everything perfect. Another character I would drop here is Gamora. Gamora, even at level 80 or tier 4, performs really nice with an energy. I have done a lot of World Boss Legends with her as villain, as actually female, and having multiple tags like alien and female. And she used to be the best for specific days of ABX, but after Luna she gets dethroned and there is no use for her using her with the raids. Other really strong characters to use with an energy is Black Widow, because here with a brilliant energy or a mighty energy, she is one of the best strikers in the game. After Ghost Rider came, before Ghost Rider actually, she used to be the best But yeah, now she's falling behind after actually Thor and Ghost Rider was the last character that replaced her a lot. But with an energy, or let's say with a greed for PvP and an energy for PvE, she's performing really nice for World Boss Legend. Same thing for Moon Knight. Moon Knight is really strong with an energy for World Boss Legend, but also can be used for ABX. Ant-Man really strong for World Boss Legend. Anything else feels bad. Mighty Destruction also works perfectly with him, and Mighty Destruction works also for Moon Knight. Something I forget from the tier list of Mighty Destruction is Hela. Hela is the absolute meta of CTP of Destruction. She can do miracles with it. Using her both for PvE and PvP with the same CTP, she is one of the best all-around characters in the game to use for all the world battle, for World Boss Legend, even for Timeline. I have seen her doing miracles with it. The last character I would put for an energy is Iron Man. Iron Man is really strong for World Boss Legend these days, but he's falling behind after all this meta character dropped into, ABL and ABX. So I feel like the most use for him it's World Boss Legend. It's really weird to proc sometimes, but this CTP or Mighty Destruction could fit him the best. But I put him on energy just to have balance in these two, columns there. So now let's go to the hardest part, which is PvP. I'm a really mediocre PvP player, and my opinion has to do with others' opinions mainly. I have done my tests, but still, I'm asking others most of the times for the PvP aspect of the game on my alliance, on my friend list, So let's start from one of the most stable CTPs of PvP, which is CTP of Authority. You need to be mighty or brilliant. You need to have the steal effect, and the very best character to use with it, in my mind, it's Thanos with the PvP uniform. He is really strong with it, and he is, immune on the period that the brilliant authority drops on him. Combined with all the passive abilities he has, he can stay there for like 5 seconds and hit you like a truck and kill you without being able to hit him at all. The very next character I would use with it is Madeline. Madeline prior, of course, for Thanos. Conquest is also really strong, and for some game modes, Mighty Conquest and Brilliant Conquest are even better than Authority. But in my mind, if you have a specific amount of Mighty and Brilliant Conquest, you shouldn't prioritize on equipping it on Thanos, because Thanos has greater value with an Authority for timeline battle, let's say. For Otherworld battle, Conquest probably is the best for him. Same thing for Madeline prior. Madeline is an absolute monster for timeline battle with an authority, and after that, for the games that you are using here against multiple targets like Alliance Conquest, Alliance Tournament, or Otherworld battle, Conquest would be the best. But if I had to choose on specific amount of CTPs, I wouldn't go and equip a Conquest on here right now. Another really strong character for a Mighty Authority, specifically for PvP, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man do miracles still for specific weeks that other characters are banned, or Otherworld battle or timeline battle. He's really strong with it. There are multiple CTPs that you can use with him, but this is the most stable to make him the absolute tank for PvP in my mind. And actually, let's swap into CTP of Greed. Because I can't go through and fill this list first. I have to go and spread all these characters left here, into the tier list. In my mind, Adam Warlock is one of the best characters to use with the CTP of Greed. Brilliant Greed could be the best for him, makes him really strong for timeline battle, Alliance Conquest, Otherworld battle. He's an all-arounder. The very next CTP for him, in my mind, is Energy, if you wanna go kind of hybrid and kill some World Boss Legend, but also Conquest. But Greed is the best in my mind. Same thing for Wolverine. Wolverine, it's a really weird situation here, but listen to me. Wolverine, it's the best CTP to use for him. It's Brilliant Conquest, Brilliant Greed. After Brilliant Conquest, after Mighty Conquest, and after Mighty Greed. So Mighty Greed, it's kind of the worst. After it's Mighty Conquest, Brilliant Conquest, and Brilliant Greed. Brilliant Greed is the best CTP for Wolverine for some reason. Super whales have tested this info, came to me, as they are, and I'm using myself Mighty Conquest because of that, and he is really strong even at tier 3 level 80. Totally worth it for Otherworld Battle. He's still one of the best characters in the game with Adam Warlock. If you go and check my tier 4 tier list, yeah, they're still there in the top. Another really strong character to use with a Greed is Quicksilver. Quicksilver feels to be no meta for anything right now in the game, only for Alliance Conquest, only for Otherworld Battle, and generally the game modes that you can use multiple characters, and specific times there are bans around that you can use other characters. So yeah, a Greed could give him great value in my mind. Other CTP also could be an Authority, gonna provide him some immunity for a couple of seconds, and he can produce more damage through all his AoE skill he's doing from his 1 to 5 skills. And now it's the time to tell you that in my mind only Sentry and Sentry and Silver Surfer are the must-have CTPs, CTP of Conquest to use on their 100%. Sentry, the very next CTP you could use for him to counter actually Silver Surfer next to him, it's a Greed, because both Conquest and Greed provides him immunity to Reflect, and Reflect is one of the main reasons you could die with your Sentry. Same thing for Silver Surfer. Conquest provide him the best output generally, but I'm using him with a brilliant refinement. And I feel like refinement, it's a really better, a really good solution if you wanna play kind of, in a different style. I've made a video on him, go watch it and you realize what I'm talking about. So let's go into the last characters of the list, and I'm gonna put there some characters, it's kind of weird, CTP of Regen and CTP of Refinement. I don't feel like they're the best CTP for anyone in the game right now. I suggest you them as a second options, but characters like Carnage can get great advantage from the extra healing he has. Also, Hulk can make him used as a PvE and a PvP character. With his old uniform, he was a really good hybrid, not that good for World Boss Legend, but the new uniform gives him really great value. So overall, I feel like Regen and Refinement are off-meta CTPs that you could use with some characters and having great value, but in the same time, other CTPs are the best for them. Spider-Man also is really good with Regeneration. And for the last, I would go on an Authority for Maya Lopez. Maya Lopez provides a really good leadership and some extra buffs for PvE, some chain hit damage. So you could arguably give her an insight for Alliance Conquest and also World Boss Legend support lead. But yeah, I feel like PvP, it's the main use. Alliance Conquest and CTP of Authority is really strong for Alliance Conquest. The rest of the characters left here, I'm not sure about them, guys. I mean, all of them are really good with the raids, and I'm gonna put them here in the raids list, but in my mind, they don't deserve to have the raids. What I'm talking about. Captain Marvel, it's replaced big time from Wanda. Wanda scoring like 1 million more, at least for me, on on ABX at level 80. So what's the point of using her with the raids when you have already Wanda? If you miss her, that's the best CTP for her, raids. After that, I would go for a Destruction, a Mighty Destruction for Alliance Conquest. But yeah, this is really hard to use manual with a proc. Venom, same thing. Adam Warlock, how it's called? Doctor Strange and Black Panther, same thing. But all three of them these two are replaced from Gladiator, way better damage for him. And Doctor Strange never actually had his chance on the ABX and TBL meta. So in my mind, he's really cool with something like an Authority for PvP. But yeah, if you have spare rages, okay, go for it. or else he's really strong, hard to go and work on him. And yes, that was it, guys. I put all the characters, took me a lot of time actually, sorry for that. I put all characters for a specific CTP. Let me know your opinion. If you have a different opinion, hit me down below in the comments. Share on my Discord your list or on my social media, and perhaps I would make a video on your lists too and your opinions, you know, because I'm here to learn from you also. And if you feel like I did some mistakes on the video, I'm all ears here to hear you and go through and fix this tier list for all CTPs. This tier list also, it's gonna be on my description as I told you, so you can work yourself on some lists to help you progress through your account and to manage your CTPs. I hope I helped you decide what you're gonna do with all these CTPs. You will. See you into the next. Kisses in your faces.